Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our knowledge sharing session. And today's session will be on bite-sized blended learning. And thank you again for taking your time off to attend this short workshop. And to begin with, we will do with an activity. We will use a third-party web page to engage in some form of activity. Know your opinion, so please log into Mentimeter. You can go to menti.com, or you can just Google on the Google search engine. Just type Mentimeter and look for join a presentation. Now, once you are in this web page, please use this code, which is 92983431. So once you use this code, you'll be at a page where you'll be able to interact your opinion. The question, I think, basically will be asking, I know what is learning management system. Please give your response to that particular statement. I know what is learning management system. We'll give about 2-3 minutes for people to actually respond. Then we will see the outcome of it. And I'll try to show you what would the outcome be. Okay, let's see the outcome. And okay, okay, this is what we have actually got. We've got about so far some responses, about 7, 11, 6, 13 responses. So it's, some people say they know what is learning management system, which is very good, and then some do not know, and some is they are unsure about it. So let's see what we do about learning. What is learning management system? Okay, so what is learning management system? That will be our first question that we'll be addressing. But before that, this afternoon's what we call this afternoon's session will be covering mostly on the nomenclature of our present learning management system, and then familiarizing with some aspects of the Moodle system itself in our eLEAP, and then we will go into item number 3, 4, and 5, which are more of what we call the gist of today's knowledge sharing session. I really would like you all to pay attention to the blended learning checklist, and also we will do a short review on what we have achieved so far in 2021, and then lastly, which is will be the more exciting or the applied part of this knowledge sharing session, active and meaningful engagement using eLEAP apps. We will only concentrate on eLEAP apps. We will not look at any third-party softwares, but we will just look at eLEAP, what eLEAP has to offer for us. Okay, so that's about it. Then we will now address what is learning management system. Okay, so eLEAP platform, which is called the LMS, basically the learning management system. It's called eLEAP in our case in UNIMAS. So it stands for e-learning enrichment and advancement platform. It has got 3 different parts, which is the actual eLEAP, and then eLEAP exam, and the other one is called eLEAP Vault. So basically what happens is that the current the current pages on your eLEAP will be on the eLEAP UNIMAS. Now once the semester has finished, it will be transferred to the Vault, okay, the eLEAP Vault. So it will be transferred to there, and it will be there for some time. They still haven't decided until when it will be archived into this eLEAP Vault, but you can still access it and see how it is and all that. And then the next semester you'll have new ones in the eLEAP UNIMAS. So that's how the thing goes. And then every eLEAP course pages will have an access to eLEAP exam. So that's how they have separated these three things, which is, one is the current, the other one is the archive material, and this one is for exam purposes. Okay, I hope I've clarified that. So this is encompasses our learning management system. The first one, like I said, eLEAP UNIMAS. eLEAP UNIMAS. How do you access? You can just go directly to that, and using UNIMAS identity, you can actually access it easily. Similarly, you can also access eLEAP exam using your UNIMAS identity. But for UNIMAS eLEAP World, it's a bit slightly different because you will not be able to access it via your UNIMAS identity, but you need to uh, register for the first time. If you're using it for the first time, accessing the eLEAP World, then you need to register with CAM. You can call up CAM, their help desk, and they will help you with the registration if you have any problem with the registration. So once you've got your password, everything settled, then you can actually log in quite easily using the admin and guest route. Okay, my next interaction, please go to again Mentimeter. The same code, you will see the next thing popping up. UNIMAS LMS is running on Dash platform. Do you know what platform are we using to actually administer and manage our eLEAP? Our learning management system is actually run using what kind of platform? Do you know? Okay, I've got a healthy number of response here. Thank you very much. Okay, let's see here. UNIMAS LMS is running on, it's actually Moodle. Moodle. Three of you all got it right. Excellent. Now, let me introduce to you what is Moodle is all about. Moodle is actually the coding software that actually enables the administration and the running of the LMS, which is what we have named in what we call the pronoun is eLEAP, whereas the learning management system is called a generic name, and how it is running is running under Moodle. Okay, so if you were to say, if somebody were from another university were to ask you what kind of a LMS is it based on, so it's based on Moodle when you want to tell them. So that's what it is. Morpheus is actually the name that was called prior to what it was named as eLEAP. Before, if you have been, these two people, I think they've been here for some time. Okay, these are people who have been here for a long period of time, so they know what is Morpheus. So that's why they were a bit confused, I guess. Before it was named eLEAP, it was known as Morpheus, and Morpheus was just basically the computer server, the CPU, the server that actually housed all this platform, the Moodle platform, and it's called Morpheus. So that's why they named it as the system name was named as Morpheus. Okay, so that clarifies that. So now we know that the platform is so UNIMAS learning management system is running on Moodle platform. So a bit about familiarizing with UNIMAS page. Let me just access an easy one here. So okay, this is the dashboard that we are going to see here, and this is my course. Only in eLEAP you will actually see it in this version, but when you access in this case, if you were to go to the normal eLEAP, this will be a course profile. This will be a course profile. If you press my course, and you will end up being here. So these are the courses that you are involved in that particular semester. So you can see a bird's eye view of all the courses that you are involved, and then you can actually select which one you want to actually see. So today's purpose, I'm going on FMHS e-learning training ground. So in that particular thing, this is the layout again. Now you have the dashboard here. Okay, and the dashboard will allow you to access in a general, and it gives you all the very basic do's and don'ts. If you're a student, or also if you're a staff, then you can go back to my course and then go back to the page that you want to. Now in this here, now if you can see this blue with a white arrow, inward arrow, this is actually a kind of a toggle switch where you can actually view what are the things and the course administration control. Okay, this is where you can access all your edit settings for the entire page, how you're going to lay out your page and so on. Now, now this triangle here allows you to, okay, let me switch this off. Okay, now this triangle here gives you a general preference for your account. If you're having an account, with your name should appear on here, on under eLEAP here, and you can access the dashboard also directly from here, and then everything. Now this triangle is useful for you to know. This is where you can actually switch your role, okay, from a student. Basically, you will not use, if you're the course administrator here, you will never use the non-editing teacher, but this particular access mode from the triangle is useful for you to switch to student mode. Okay, when you switch to student mode, this is what you can expect your student to actually see. Okay, this is what you can actually see. You are probably seeing this page in this view. Earlier I showed you the teacher view. This is the teacher view. This is what all the content is in there, but you are not able to see it. So this is how I'm controlling it. So later on, when you are administrating your own course page, you will be able to do this. Okay, so I will go through that part again. Navigational panel. Okay, you've already got the navigational panel. Administrative panel we got covered. Turn editing on. Now this is the turn editing on. Once you turn editing on, then you can see there are a lot of other controls that appears here, and basically these editing features that all this will appear, and you can actually see this. What I want to highlight here is this green with a white font letters here, hidden from students. So you are not able to see all this. Okay? You're not able to see all this. You're not able to access also. So this is how you control control them. Now the difference between the new eLEAP and the old eLEAP is the new eLEAP in this fashion. It shows you outrightly in the green box here. Well, to me it looks like green. The green box that students are not able to see it. But earlier versions, it will be deemed. The thing will be deemed, so you will not be able to see. Don't want to trust, I can show you again. This is what I meant by that. You switch role to student. Okay, you are only seeing this. I've only given you access to see this. Okay, so that's why you're seeing this. Up to topic 5 and 6 all, I did not put any content in there. So only these two parts that I've actually changed their name and customized them. So some fundamentals first, and then we go into the blended learning checklist. Okay, and then later on we'll have some more interactive content. Is not available at the moment, so I will release that. Then you can actually see them. So back to normal view. Okay, now why am I showing you this page is that I've also have some activities here, which these activities were the same as what you did using Mentimeter. Okay, so now you can actually use that to directly do in a Mentimeter. If you choose to do it via Mentimeter, you can do it in Mentimeter. If you don't want, you can actually do it in eLEAP itself. So I will show you how to set this so-called choice activity. Yeah? The same question that I ask you via Mentimeter, you can do it under an activity called choice. I will highlight to you later how do you do that. Okay. Okay, we have gone through everything. So again, now once again, Moodle is an open source learning platform which runs our LMS in UNIMAS. So this is the third checklist. So now we're going to try something new. Maybe we can, okay, never mind. We can still do it using Mentimeter. Please go back to Mentimeter and you can access the next one. Excellent. One person have already answered the blended learning checklist. Okay. If many of you all know about what is blended learning checklist, then that'll be great. It doesn't matter. I just want to get an overview of what you all know. Okay, some of you all know about the blended learning checklist, and some of you all do not know. That's okay, and some of you all have never heard, not sure about it. I'm not sure. Luckily, nobody said never heard of UNIMAS blended learning checklist. So I guess you put the word UNIMAS there. That means that thing exists. So it's either you do not know or you know. Now let's go and look at what is blended learning checklist. It is a document that is basically a checklist for self-evaluation on level of achievement that you have done. So that particular checklist will give you a breakdown of what are the things that you need to do in order for you to get a certification at the end of the semester that you are a blended learning practitioner. Okay, it's a very simple and very easy to achieve status, and I will go through that. And this is one of the primary goal of having this learning session, so that everybody will be able to achieve it. And I will also highlight now what is the pitfall, and what is the normal thing that people do that will not enable them to achieve the status. Okay, there are about 4 different parts to this blended learning checklist. The first one is called the course information. Now, for the course information, it's very simple. Everybody who puts up something on eLEAP will achieve this. Okay, and basically it's the course outline and the course schedule. Basically your student guidebook. The student guidebook, if you are able to separate them accordingly and make a PDF file and upload it, and so that student can access it, you will achieve this. And you only need one item, and our student guidebook will be able to achieve this. Okay. The next one is content or resources. Content and resources. Now, this part also is very simple, very easy, and every course coordinator will be able to achieve this. You need a minimum of 7 items, and you will actually get more than 7 items. Okay, sometimes it runs to, like in my case, I get about more than 120 items in here alone. So various people will have different numbers. So content, resources, and course information, it's not a problem. Everybody will achieve it. It's only the next two that I would like to highlight, and that's the pitfall. People do all the hard work in these two part. You prepare your student guidebook, everything is arranged and all done, but then the other part C and D is neglected. Okay. Now, content resources, basically it's your course notes materials in a file, in a PDF file or a PowerPoint file, your recorded material, your video clips, links to additional URL that you want your students to go to, those kind of things. These are called resources. Okay. Now, the next one is activities. Now, here the checklist requires only 3 items. Only 3 items. What you need to do, you need to give some form of activity in your eLEAP page for your students to engage. Okay, so it can be in a multiple form, whatever that you want to do. Okay, I will tell you the secret and very simple thing to achieve is do a choice. Remember to do a choice. Afterward, I'll tell you how to actually engage a choice. You can do a choice every lecture. Very simple. It polling. There is something called polling here. Yeah, poll everywhere, survey monkey and all. These are quite elaborate things, but choice is something that you can do it in the beginning of your lecture. Very simple. You ask as a general question and get a feedback. Just like how I was doing Mentimeter, you can do it within the eLEAP platform using the app that is already available on eLEAP. Okay, I will show you this later, and that is the easiest thing. If you do 3 choices, that's it, done. You already secured this. But many people do a lot of things. Here you can see mind mapping. You can do a Mentimeter here also. Okay, you can do a wiki. Wiki is also very nice to go about doing. Glossary is also something good. And I'll teach you all the other fancy tools which are very simple to do. Although they are called fancy names and all that, you can actually engage them in how you want to do it. What else? Questionnaire. Yeah, questionnaire, you can do it at the end of your course. You want to evaluate how much your students have actually gained from the course that you have actually put up. So you can do a questionnaire, and that also can suffice for the 3 items that is required for the blended learning checklist part. So the last one, it's called the assessment. In the assessment, you need only have 2. You can give any form of assignment. Okay, let them write a short question, topic, an essay topic or whatever that you can actually assign to them, and that can be one assignment. You can do a quiz, a short quiz. Okay, it can be 2 or 3 questions in it, and you can start doing it, and that is already an assessment. So this is all what they want in the requirement. So let me go back again. 1 item from part A, 7 items from part B, 3 items from part C, and lastly 2 items from part D, which is the assessment. So now I would like you to do interaction, but this time you will not be doing it via Mentimeter, FMHS e-learning training ground. Please log on to FMHS e-learning training ground. If you can access that, and you can scroll down to blended learning checklist, and you can see this. I'm going to release this. You can see how I'm going to turn editing on, and then I go to edit and that particular part, and I'm going to release it. Show. So you will be able to see this now, and you can actually do this this activity, choice activity. So this is how it will look like. Okay, this is choice activity. I am familiar with UNIMAS blended learning checklist. Okay. Okay, please can you go to this part here, and I'll show you how the result will look like if you were to do it via the eLEAP platform. Okay, I've got about 21 responses here, so I can immediately see what it is. Okay, now when you see all these responses, it will be very useful for you in a class when you can actually see who are the students and how many percentage or how many number of students are not sure. They say that blended learning checklist, these are the people who say not sure. The majority of your class is not, they do not know what is blended learning checklist is all about. Then you can go and clarify the matter further. Okay, so that's something that that you can actually see and what it is. Okay, now I'm going to release this. Can you all also do this, please? Okay, choice activity number 5, content and resources. Okay, I've got 19 responses here. Okay. Okay, the question was the results of this activity will not, sorry, how many content or resources do I have to provide on my eLEAP? how many content or resources do I have to provide on my eLEAP course. Okay, and this is the response. 3, 2, and 1, 7 or 1. Okay, everybody realize that is 7. 7 is the number. Okay, that's the 7 resources. That's the highest number. And normally in any page, if you were to take a survey, this would be the highest number of input into the eLEAP platform. You'll have 1732. This is the number, and this is course information, resources, activities, and finally assessment. Okay, now next to the review of what happened the last year's blended learning status for our faculty, only for our faculty, we achieved about 61%. Let me just break down to you what is the percentage of, in makes sense to the number of courses that we offered. The number of total courses that we offered was 108 courses. Okay, out of these 108 courses, the majority were undergraduate courses, and then the remaining 35% was postgraduate courses. Now, based on this breakdown of 65% and 35% of courses, how many did we achieve blended learning? Okay, only 66. About roughly 2/3 of the courses achieved blended learning status. Okay, and again, once again, the majority came from the undergraduate courses. So the postgraduate courses have got a lot of improvement, room for improvement. Every year we try to increase the number of postgraduate courses that can attain the blended learning status. Having said that, it doesn't say that the undergraduate should get 100%, but normally we do not get. The best we've got one semester was about, 1 year was about 80%, 81% something. But this year is not too bad, 77% achieved it. So once again, why is this a problem? So if you analyze this, this was last year's results. If you analyze this, there's a category called blended learning miss, and then there's a blended learning no. Now the blended learning no is basically goes back to these numbers here, 1, 7, 3, and 2. This course information and content resources, everybody will achieve it, no problem. We don't have any problem with all the courses that is already on eLEAP. No, it's only these two part, activities and assessment. Now, when I say miss, you would have missed out one activity here. You would have done 2, and then the remaining one is not done. So therefore, you don't achieve it. So all the hard work gone. You might have even done 2 assessment, but you did only 2 activities. Then you do not achieve the status. So it's kind of very sad to know that because of that one activity that is lacking, so therefore you do not get the practitioner status. So this is the basic thing, how you missed blended learning status, and number of times, most of the times, it's always about not the A and B, not the course information and the content resources. It's the C and D. This is one. These 7 courses which entitled that no blended learning status, all of them in C part, they only got 1. How many they are supposed to get? 3. 3 activities in here, but you only have 1, 1, 1, 1, and this particular course have none at all. No activities at all, but all the others they have achieved. They even had assessment. They had assessment, but they don't have activities. So this is what happens when a course coordinator fail to understand that these are the breakdowns that they need to achieve. And in the part of postgraduate, it's even sadder. There are many courses, many courses do not have any activities at all. They have A part and B part covered, and they even have assessment in the form of testing and all that. But engaging the students, they fail to do that. So maybe they do it face to face or not. That probably it is the case. But when you register it onto the eLEAP, we as the faculty would like to achieve that blended learning status. So that's the reason why we are trying to promote how do you actually get this blended learning status.
Okay. Kita tes
Okay,
bi.
thanks Shaz.
Welcome ya.
You're always the best person to have in the group to get a feedback. Um, and
No problem.
okay, so that part there, to clarify, the course coordinator has a responsibility to make sure that he or she fulfills all these 4 components. Oh, I've got 22 response. Huh? Everybody knew. Huh? Okay, not sure. Doesn't matter. That it's true. Huh? You need the participation is important. Huh? Very important. Like I said here, the reason why is it important, because that will determine your quality of what you're getting. That is one kind of a tool that they gauge upon how the quality of that page is, how many students are actually actively involved in the page, and they are looking at things and gaining something out of that page. So that's why it is crucial. So here in this slide, I actually put that participation is crucial because the activities assessment is based on that. If you do not participate, then it's a static kind of information where you just come in to just view it and then you go off. You're not engaging the students at all. So that's the thing on participation of students. Now we moved on to the 5th part, engaging students meaningfully. This part, I think since some of them have written earlier that they wanted, I mean, some of y'all are returning staff on that y'all have done this with me earlier. But this part here, I will show you about the communication, synchronous and or asynchronous. Now, this is a form of synchronous communication that we are doing. This platform, WebEx, Zoom, and what else? Teams. There's a generic name for it. It's called Online Communication Platform, OCP. So this kind of OCP, you can whether you want to do synchronous or asynchronous. Asynchronous would be you can do it and then you record it and then you put it up into a page like our LMS, and students get access to that. That is what asynchronous is all about. Synchronous is going at the right time and start delivering your whatever knowledge sharing session that you want to do. But just a word of caution and something to ponder. Many people, what they do is that when they give a lecture, face-to-face lecture, which is about 1 hour lecture, they tend to duplicate that on the OCP, which is, I think, is very wrong. We can't do that part. Even in here, so I would like to later, I want you all to engage on certain things in between to. So you need to put things into perspective and try to engage them with other kind of activities and so on. Okay, we'll learn that. So synchronous and asynchronous, you do it yourself. Like what do you think is the best way of doing? I let you to decide what would be comfortable for you to do. And then next one we'll cover is how to add activity and resources. One of the things that I promise is that choice to teach you. That's the most basic thing that you can achieve under the activity component. Okay, and then instructional design. I'll just point out certain nuances about instructional design that you need to highlight, because I have access to most of the pages. I go to the pages and I just view them. It's just stream of information, video, files to download, and your lecture notes, videos, lecture notes, videos, lecture note videos, without any annotation. Without any annotation. Try to put yourself in their picture, and the students coming in and looking at that, they have to go one by one and look at what it is all about, and moreover, sometimes just by the title itself, you will not know whose is this and from whom am I downloading and all that, unless the students have got brilliant memory to recognize that title is from that and so on. So that one I'll also highlight to you how you can actually do something to help your student to have a meaningful impact when they access the platform. And then finally about enrolling. Enrolling, this is a very simple matter, but I will highlight this to you also later. Okay, first one, this one, somebody asked me on the registration page that maybe they want to know. This is, I don't know whether you all have actually experienced this or not. I'll read out to this problem, this so-called problem scenario. While you as an instructor busy writing, composing your messages in WhatsApp, you have sent the first composed message and then later you add in further details. While you are doing this, some of your enthusiastic students suddenly interrupt the flow of your message. They start asking and responding to your posting. You will get this. Sometimes it's quite common. I'm not saying I don't know whether you all have experienced it, but this is quite common when you start engaging your students. Some of these students who are already online, they'll come in and they'll start getting feedback. They'll give feedback to you whatever that you're doing. So how do you go about engaging? And this is one way. I'm not saying this is the only way of doing it. This is not the only way of doing it. First, you must remember when you start a conversation with your student, tagging, you need to put some form of tagging so that you can actually later search and come back to that particular. This is using WhatsApp. You can also use Telegram. So here's an example, a snapshot of what I have done. I normally put a green button to say I'm starting. So when I put the green button, I've already told the students, you cannot interrupt me when I put this button. Okay, do not engage me when I'm writing, when I put this icon. So when I put this icon, the students will stop asking me questions and so on. So I will compose everything at the end of the message. I'll put a stop button. Something you don't need to be like this. You can also you do it on your own. So I can tag also micro learning for topic 2. Okay. Then my tag. So this is some way to overcome the problem that I just mentioned. Or the other way of doing this is you can have your WhatsApp customized so that only you are the only administrator and you will only be able to put messages and put notices and so on. The rest of the students are not allowed to do this. How do you go about doing this is that you can set in your WhatsApp, in your group settings. You go to your group settings and you will come to this dialog page, and under this dialog page you can edit group admins. You'll go up to edit group admins and then it asks you for choose who can send messages to this group. And if you put all participants, everyone in that group will be able to exchange messages. But if you put only admins, then only the administrator can actually post and comment each other. Okay, so I hope you can start doing this if you're intending to do this. The hindsight of this is that if you do this only admin, then students cannot communicate with you. So every time you need to go and change back, then ask them. So how do you have to have two mirror groups? One is for just for messages that you put in. The other one is for interacting directly. So the solution to that problem will be to set an etiquette that every time you see this green button, start button, you're not allowed to put anything in there, then continue with that. So establish some form of etiquette, because students find it very difficult when they're asking questions and all that. You are posting some information and then suddenly it's interrupted, and then the flow of messages or the design of the thing needs to be considered. So that's one example. Any question regarding this? Okay, silence means no question. Okay, course design. That's one example using the WhatsApp here, and then the earlier one is let's go back to, let's take this as an example here. here you can see everything because I'm under the teacher mode. So I'm showing you everything, but this you will not be able to see this. So but here I've set some kind of designs, and here you can see the design coming up when the next session after our break here, when I look about interactive content here. Now example here is given. I've got two activities here, two activities that you can actually view later once we come back after the break. But then I'm just showing you the design. One is without annotation, one is with annotation. Now this is a very simple way of explaining to the students what is this all about. And your file also must be a unique number. Maybe if you number them, it'll be useful, so the students will know what to tell you and all that. And then if it is weekly, sometimes because we are doing an integrated kind of teaching in our faculty, we have so many files under 1 week. Okay, the students find it difficult to actually go through everything, and then having indentation is very useful also. Actually, if you are doing be understanding, if you're doing one part of the lecture in that week one, just go inside so that you will differentiate from lecturer A. Lecturer A, maybe he starts here, then you put your information, your resources, whatever, with some proper labels. Okay? Labels are very useful, and labels can be found. The label app is available in eLEAP itself. Okay, you can explore that label app. No? So that's one thing considering about the design. Yeah, learning resources we already covered earlier, learning activities also. Now, if you want to know detail, or if you want to know about how you want to actually do this in your own little information that you're giving in that particular week, you can look at this Gilly-Salmon's 5-stage model. How do you achieve? This is actually advocated by our local expert in e-learning, Prof. Abdul Karim. He normally visits UNIMAS at least once a year. He gives a good talk on how do you engage students while doing e-learning. So he always advocates this Gilly-Salmon's 5-stage model, which is quite applicable. Yeah, how do you motivate, how do you online socialization, and then information exchange, and then finally knowledge construction, and finally development in the sense that how do you support your student later. Okay, yeah, this is something also to keep in mind. Focus on the learning design, not the content. And the content, they can get it elsewhere, they can get it from the textbook and so on. The learning design is the one that is important. You can say refer or go to this content to actually go further information that can be actually obtained. I think we tend to do what is that we want to put in everything that we teach on face-to-face into the learning platform, the learning management system. You want to put everything into the e-learning platform and get the students to know about them. So that's one of the problems that we are facing at the moment. And then what should be the overall component of your engagement in e-learning? So activities should be highlighted more, and then a summary. Closure doesn't need to be a closure. What can be a summary, and then some reflection, some take-home messages that the students actually get, so that what can be highlighted, what are the important aspects they can get from that particular session. So this can be a good way of showing how you can engage the students. Yes, another thing, the title of this whole knowledge sharing is all about bite size. Like I said, if you're giving a 2-hour lecture, do not reproduce it online. Okay, 2 hours lectures is not useful. Maybe you could shorten certain section which is very difficult from your particular lecture, shorten them to about 20 minutes or even 15 minutes, and concentrate that on one particular part, and then have another session and put a new video or whatever. So don't do a continuous 2 hours lecture and then put it into eLEAP or put it into YouTube and then start linking them to your page. So 2 hours is too long for someone to sit down there and start doing whatever that they want to do. Okay. Here's some kind of a guide that shows what you can achieve. This is very short, 15 minutes, very short. What you can do within that 15 minutes to engage your students in that particular topic. Here they are not there to actually learn everything from that 15 minutes. Here just to give them an idea of this is what you need to go and do. This is what are things that it's not for them to go and memorize that. Maybe the main point of your part of your lecture can be put into that. Okay. Okay. We are coming to the boring part, finishing up the boring part. After our break, then we'll have the more on the engagement part. So in the engagement part, these are the things that we want to look at: the activities and resources. Activities and resources. Yes, activities. The one that is circled are the ones that I've done so far. Okay, I've done so far. But the one that I've not circled, I've not done this thing. Maybe chat. I've done chats before. When the students are online, you can actually directly chat with them. But that I've never gone beyond that. I just tested out with some students once. Never done checklists and all the other things. But the one that I've circled are the ones that I'm very familiar with. But I will share with you something that I discovered very recently, which is the interactive content. It's an amazing tool. That will be the highlight of what we're going to do in the next 1 hour after we have a break. And the resources, these are the things that are most common thing, and I find that labels are quite useful to have. You can see some pages, some of the course coordinators pages, they are very nicely displayed with lots of labels and all that here and there. Makes it attractive rather than just a monotonous kind of layout. So how do you do labels? Very simple. We can do that later. Labels and choice, we'll start after the break. Yeah, this part here, I forgot to mention. This is basically it is not your group setting in your WhatsApp. It's the group setting for the group that you have created. In my case here, I've got a group called HTMDU 1023. Cards. I put there, and this is what the group setting for that. So if you are an admin in a particular group, you can actually access these dialog boxes only if you are an admin and you've already had a group. Okay. Now the next question is that somebody was asking, how do you actually make a group? Okay. How do I start? Now there are two ways of making groups. One is you have your mobile number of all the the participant that you would like to have in your group, which is sometimes it's impossible. For example, if you take it your students, that's impossible for you to actually have them. So all of them, their numbers in your mobile phone. So what I normally do is that I create a dummy group first. Normally, the dummy group's first participant will be my daughter. Okay, I will just put her in, and then I will be already an admin, so I'll just put her in to create the dummy group. Then after that, I'll just kick her out, and then I will be having a blank group with nobody in there except for myself in there. So then I will go to the part here. It's called share. When you click share on your WhatsApp group that you have already created, you've named everything and it's empty at the moment. When you click share, you will get a QR code or a link. Now you cut and paste that to whoever you want to send. They will have access to directly come into your group. So what's the beauty about doing it in that fashion is that you don't have to have their number in your mobile phone. Okay, so they will automatically join your group. So simple again. You make a dummy group first. Go create a group on WhatsApp. You can Google up and find out how to create group. And then once you create the group, in order for you to create a group, you must have at least another person in there. No means it will not allow you to create a group. As far as I know, maybe if you can find another way of doing it, then it's fine. So once you create the group, there's something called share. Look for share. And then once you share, click on the share, you will have all the possible ways of sharing your group info. So the QR code is one, link is one. So the QR code means the QR code, you can take the QR code and put it into your eLEAP page. Students can come, they can scan, immediately they will be scanned into your group. Okay, so I hope I've explained that part. Okay, the interactive content. Now I'm going to release all these, and you can actually view them. Okay, but let's go one by one. Then many people will be asking me questions on something that the rest have not done. We start with something called H5P. H5P. You can view both of them. They are both the same. I've just named them separately so that I can identify them, 1 and 2. But the only thing is that the number 2 has got an annotation inside there explaining what is it all about. In here, it's just blank. It's nothing there to tell that what is it all about. The title of the topic is the same, lebih kurang sama, more or less they are the same, Helicobacter pylori. The video clip shows a basic outline of Helicobacter pylori bacterium. It highlights the virulence factor of the bacteria. Please do participate in the interaction between this video clip. So if you play the video clip, okay.
And this is important, and we'll soon see why.
Can everyone hear that?
Yes.
Okay. I got that feedbacks, all the feedbacks, because people have already been engaging.
We're going to look at Helicobacter pylori, the bacteria known to cause peptic ulcers as well as duodenal ulcers. Helicobacter pylori is a gram-negative rod bacteria. Here I'm drawing sort of simplified structure of the bacteria.
Okay, see, while the presentation of the video is on, I've actually engaged them with something here popping up. Something pops up here and a question mark there. So asking something that I find that the students should know that. So I'm saying that what gram is that? So that then they will actually click on that.
Pylori.
Click on that. Then a question will pop up immediately. Okay, Helicobacter pylori is gram positive. True or false? In a method of true or false. Okay, I don't get any. If I don't answer the thing, I do not get anything out of it. This is for seeing the right answer. Okay, so if I say false, continue.
Have flagella, which
I can go back and I can view
simplified structure of the bacteria. H. pylori.
Wrong. Okay, I can retry until I get the right answer. It's right. Then I continue.
Flagella, which help in motility.
It goes to the next question. This points here DNA, indicates
which is circular.
There's a stop point.
Some important virulent factors that Helicobacter pylori possesses include lipopolysaccharide.
Next question. In a different form, this is now a more like an MCQ. Urease is used by Helicobacter pylori to what? So if I write the right answer, and I get immediately, then I continue.
Which help in adherence.
If I get wrong answer,
possesses include lipopolysaccharides. which help in adhering.
Okay, let's go complete it because I've already answered it correctly. So assuming that I've already know the answer.
H. pylori have is an enzyme on the surface converts urea and water to carbon dioxide and ammonia. And this is important.
Okay. So I've answered all the questions. Okay, and this is what the summary of what I've done. Okay, the last part I did not do, so that's why I didn't get a score for that. Huh? So now these exercises are not meant to be done for summative. Huh? This is only for formative purposes, because if any of the students who are good at programming, they can actually manipulate the scores quite easily. But this is only for the purpose of formative, so it doesn't matter. Okay, so now, is it interesting or not to do? Has anyone actually done this before? What you need to have in order to do this is you need to have a short video segment. From a large video segment, you can have maybe 2 or 3 minutes or even 5 minutes video segment for the students to go through, and then you ask certain questions. So in order to prepare this, you need to have a short segment. So you need to edit your video, even the videos that you do, you teach in the class and all that, you showed some. Basically, it should have a diagram for the students to follow through, and then finally, then you prepare the questions. Once you prepare the questions, I'll show you how you can actually go about doing it. Add activity. Under activities, please don't select H5P. H5P is not the one. You have to go to interactive content. Okay, I hope everybody is following me. Interactive content. If I'm going too fast, please let me know, then I can slow down. Okay, under interactive content. Okay, here. Sorry, I should show you all in there. It's much easier. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So under the interactive content, okay, this particular thing is under H5P interactive video. Okay, if you click this, you type interactive video. Okay, then it comes here. Okay, interactive video. Okay, if you want to learn more about it, how do you go about doing it, the details are found here. Okay, so that's one way of doing it. Okay, interactive video. Now you can title, put a title to whatever that you want to display to the students, and then the same title will appear here also. And then here is where you embed the video that you want to. Step 1, they've given you step 1, step 2, step 3, what you need to do accordingly. Step 1, the video, upload a video. Like I said, it shouldn't be a 1 hour lecture. Cannot be a 1 hour lecture, cannot. It will not accommodate that. So it has to be a very short one where you want to question that particular important aspect. You want to create a meaningful learning for the students, so you create that part there. So you put the video first in. Once you uploaded the video, then you go to step 2. Okay, step 2 is where you add the interactions. There are various different way of doing it.
Excuse me, Dr. Ashley.
Yes.
Sorry, I think I just read the Dr. Sorin message in the chat box. Would you mind to make it zoom a bit of your eLEAP?
Zoom. Okay. You want to see it more sharper, is it?
Yeah, because the box a bit smaller. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Sorry. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
sorry, yeah, I'm not concentrating on the chat group, because my laptop is quite small and I don't see the chat group there, and I've got already looking at the eLEAP alone. Thank you very much for highlighting that. You can come switch on your audio and interrupt me whenever you want to. Okay, so step one, we actually embedded a video at the background. Now step two, the interaction. So here you have various things that you can actually import, whatever that you want to do, fill in the blanks, questions of fill in the blanks, or you want to drag and drop. Okay, mark the word or true false statement or multiple choice. So I've done various different points here. So I just drag them and put where I want to. So first you have to view the entire video. Okay, once you view the entire video,
ulcers as well as duodenal ulcers.
Okay,
Let's go back to pylori.
Then you will have a point, okay, where you want to ask the question.
Here I'm drawing sort
then
of
you just go to that type of question that you want to, and you drag and just drag and drop it. I'll just demonstrate one to you.
Moving around.
Let's say true false.
DNA, which is circular.
So you drag the position, it's showing you the positions where you want to drag, okay, and just drop it there, and then the question box will come up to highlight to you what are the questions that you need to do. Let me go back, and this is the question that comes up. Okay, this is the place where you are putting it in, and then what is the way how you want to display it, and then the questions will come up here. This is where you put the questions, the true false questions. Okay, I don't want that, so I'll show you the questions part later. Okay, this is the question part. Okay, I've selected this this button, and the display place is actually at this particular time slot, and the questions here. This is the question, and you have to give the answer. You have to place the answer, and then just go on doing done. Okay, so that will be created here. So you have got various different again a single choice set, multiple choice, true false, fill in the blanks, drag and drop. So these are the various interactions that you can actually add, different modalities of questions that you can ask. So put it there and save and return to the course. Any question regarding H5P?
What is the maximum duration of video that can be put?
I have never tested Ida. I've never tested it. So, but my suggestion would be keep it as short as possible. Don't go for half an hour.
How short is short?
Less than 10 minutes. Less than 10 minutes.
Okay.
Because you have to try to understand the student want to sit there and watch the whole thing in order for them to interact and ask the question where the questions. So if you don't want them to spend too long, you want a good short segment with proper annotation. That's the key thing. The design. We're talking about the design. So the proper annotation should be there for them to select. Oh, they are weak in this part. Okay, they want to go and check on that. So they go and check on that particular part. So that's how it's going to play out. So if you put too long, then it defeats the purpose. Okay, so they have to go through the entire length of the video in order for them to interact and answer the question and get the meaningful learning coming out of it.
We can actually use the video available on YouTube.
My video is actually from YouTube, but then I edited it. There are so many editing softwares that you can actually clip what are the segments that you want. You don't want to use the others.
So that means you trim it lah.
Trim, exactly. Yeah, that's the right word. Very good.
Okay, thanks. Can you suggest me what is the the software and the apps. Yeah.
Okay, for iOS, that's already embedded. If you have an iOS platform, is embedded already. You get it there. But for non-iOS, there are many. But I will write it to you all later. I'll send it by email and I'll tell you what are the things that you can actually use. Okay, but I don't use it. I will tell you that these are the things that you can actually use. Okay, I've spoken to people from CAM and they also suggest certain softwares if you're a non-iOS user. For iOS, iMovie is amazing. Okay, iMovie is amazing. You can actually do a lot of trimming and editing and so on. With I just learned the learning curve is not very steep. You can actually learn.
Okay, thanks.
Okay.
So that software is free?
Come again?
Software are free?
The
iOS
software
are free or not?
Yes. That's what Kam told me, and I will get to you all back about the software for editing for non-iOS. Okay. Okay. Any question about H5P? No. Okay. We go to another. This is a simple one. This one doesn't need a software. It's called crossword. You can view it. Okay. You can just refresh your screen and then you can see them. Helicobacter pylori crossword. It basically you can create a crossword and let your students go on doing it. This interactive content, again, this is interactive content. Now don't go and select the crossword. I'll show you later. There's also crossword and also an interactive content. Demonstrates the use of crossword puzzle. It highlights the basic facts of Helicobacter pylori. Please do participate in this interactive activity. Okay, if you do it. So this is the crossword. Now I know why I reduced it, because it was too big. So that's why this one was reduced earlier. Okay, so here I'm sure all of you all have done crossword before. So down, one down, this is one down, and then the rest are all across. 2, 3, and 4 are across. So the one, wherever you want to attempt, acronym for HP diagnostics, Helicobacter diagnostic.
Flow test.
Yes, flow test. Enables the breakdown of urea. Number 3.
Yes, right?
Urease. Number 2. Helicobacter pylori was formerly known as Campylobacter. Anybody? Pyloridis. And then later known as pylori. Okay. And then number 1 will be used for movement, flagella, right? Okay, so this is a very simple. So for if you want to do crossword, the trick is you need to prepare in like a table form. Create a table with the name and the explanation. So once you've created that, then everything will be very super easy and very fast to do it. So settings again. Okay, you can see you select crossword, H5P hub crossword under interactive content. I'll show you the map how to go to the interactive content earlier. H5P hub crossword, and then the title, you need to give a title for it. Now here is where question number 1, used for movement, answer, you give the answer. Okay. If it's going to be very difficult, you can actually add clues to it to help the student. So question number 2, table, you move from row to row by row. on your table, the table that you've prepared. The second one enables the breakdown of urea, the answer, acronym for HB diagnostic test, and lastly, formerly known as Campylobacter pylori. So this is a very simple way of doing it, but it's a gamification basically. Okay. Okay, now how do you do this? You go to add activity. Again, I reiterate, don't select crossword here. You go to interactive content. Okay. Under interactive content, go all the way down. I think it's somewhere at the bottom. Yeah, crossword. You can even do find words if you want to. You can do find words. So there are a lot of things that you can actually select here. I haven't explored most of them, but what I feel is later I will show you the difference between interactive book and all these other options. So my understanding is that all this after the interactive book can be combined together to make this interactive book. Okay, I'll show you later. I've made one interactive book with some of these things in it. Okay, I'll show you that will be the last part. We'll cover the interactive book. So for this, you will, if you want to do crossword, so you select the crossword part. Okay, okay, crossword. Okay, I'm not going to do that. So next one is a multiple choice question. Okay, you can access it now. This interactive content demonstrates the use of multiple choice question. It highlights a simple question on Helicobacter pylori. Please do participate in this interactive activity. There's an error in there. Just going to go and correct the error. Okay, multiple choice question. So the question is, which of the following is a virulence factor that is secreted? Okay, so if you answer, check. Okay, got that. Okay, done. Okay, so that's under multiple choice question. I've only done one on each of them, but in a page that you can actually have a string of questions or even different types of questions together. When you want to do different activities or modalities of assessment together, then you will have to use the interactive book. Okay, that is what the last part here, interactive book. Here, okay, you can view this. Okay, now under interactive book, you can see now it says read. That means what it actually means is that you can actually give content for the students to actually read and then go on to do some form of activities in the form of assessment. Here I'm only doing one page only. One page. This is the content page. Okay, you can actually add more content to it. So you'll have a string of contents here. Then the student toggle between them, and then this thing will appear. Then the interaction will actually happen here. Okay, in this case, example is Helicobacter pylori is a coccus-shaped bacterium. Answer is false. So you can check immediately and then get the answer. That's all. So in this interactive, like I said, you can add more. This is the content page. You can add more activities in here, and then the activities will appear as you click on them. Okay. Okay. This part, Dr. Tin, are you there?
So sorry, does any time limit for the question?
No, she will be very interested in this part. I went looking for some activities that might be for anatomies. So identify the parts in an interactive book. So here you have but I used my DNA nucleotide. So identify the parts. So here are the three things that I want the students to identify: base, sugar, and phosphate. I've given them a diagram. Okay, in the image given, please identify the base. So they have to look at where it is and then start clicking. And it's correct. Okay. Then here, identify the sugar. Let's see if I do the wrong one. Just try again. Okay. Do wrong one. Wrong. That's the right one. Okay. So in a given image, please identify the phosphate. Do the wrong one. It doesn't work. Right one. So this is something interesting. So again, they can all be put together in one particular topic, and they can start assessing them. So here, this part here, I will show you afterward the editing. How do you actually do it? This is identifying the parts. Okay, hotspots, creating hotspots.
Hi.
Yep. Hida, you are there. That's right. Okay, I'll show you, Hida. I'm sure you are interested. I'll show you how
I
exactly.
hear you very well.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, let's
I am
go back.
okay.
Okay. Okay. Okay, let's go to the editing. First is the true false. True false. Okay. Now under the topic, you are already on interactive content. Here, interactive book. Please select. Remember earlier you selected multiple. You did true false ones, and then also we did crossword, and then we did what else? What else? Crossword, and yeah, true false and multiple choice. Yeah. Now this time you are under interactive book. Okay, interactive book.
Dr. Ashley,
Yep.
there's any time limit for the answer?
No, remember this is a summative, not a summative assessment.
So
all
the
these
student
are not summative. They are not
so the
summative.
student can answer anytime now.
Yeah, anytime they want.
Okay.
These are formative.
Okay.
Okay. So under the interactive book, you select what you want to do. True, false. Okay. You try the title true, false, and then select true, false here. Okay. Okay. True, false number 1, and then your untitled true, false question. The content should be, you can select here what you want to do. Okay. True, false, or image hotspots. Find the hotspot. You can name the thing that the students should go and look for, and they have to go and create where it is. Okay, that's what I did earlier, to find the hotspot. So in here is true false, true false question, and the content that I'm putting for the students is true false. So, and then here is the question, and here's the answers given, and that's it. So you can add another content if you want. So that's one content. I only created one content. Yeah. Okay, you will see the last one, which is the identify the parts. And its settings. Okay. Okay. Again, I reiterate, interactive content and the interactive book. Identify the part. That's my title of the part that I'm talking about. Now that's the identify the structure. And here is where you select find the hotspot. Okay, find the hotspot. So how did I do this? Find the hotspot is, first you need to create a background image. I imported an image, which is the nucleotide. Okay, once I created the image, then under the hotspot, they've given a circle or a dragging square. So this is the square that I've highlighted. This is the base. So wherever the students click in this region, the answer will be correct. Okay. Similarly, for the next one, this has got 3 parts. Sugar, same thing. You can put where is the sugar. You create the hotspot, then the students click there, it's right. Then lastly is the son. Now this one I just tested out. You can do a circle also. So I did a circle in this part here. So it's quite interesting. You can use it. You can try it out.
Sorry,
Come again?
I want to
Yes.
ask the hotspot. Can we just the spot kan boleh kita kecilkan dia macam kita nak dia dekat piece saja.
Kita boleh kecilkan. Kita boleh kecilkan berapa banyak, berapa kecil pun boleh.
Okay, we can,
size dia you can small. You can make it.
Focus
You want to ask. How small you want to go? I know that you all want to ask a small part in the anatomy. Then you can actually pinpoint where it is. But I don't know the resolution, how small it can get. I think it's limited. The resolution is not.
The picture, the background picture. What is the format of the picture that we can upload?
JPEG. I just downloaded from the net and directly use it. I didn't change anything. It is JPEG.
JPEG. Okay.
You can try various things. If you don't want, you can try to resolve them first. If you want something very big or very small, then you put them in and then start doing this.
Interesting.
Okay. I'm going to save that. Okay, the last one. This one is, I don't know how you're all going to use it because I haven't tested it myself or so, but I found it's very interesting. You can give a reading assignment, and this is called a collaborating tool. Collaborating tool. What it basically does is here the interactive content demonstrates an annotating feature in a PDF file. It highlights the document on a body bag. The journal paper is about body bag. And then what I've done is that students can actually come in and start highlighting things and asking. They can do a personal annotation. Okay, a personal annotation. So this is how you actually do this part. Now, what can I say here? So that. Yeah. Okay. Updating a PDF annotation in interactive content, and then what did I select? Select PDF. Yes. Okay, it's not interactive content, so PDF annotation. Okay, it is a PDF annotation. It's already interactive in there because it's already built into the interactive content, but it's labeled as PDF annotation. So in here, you drag the resource that you want your student to discuss and ask you questions, among themselves or whatever. Then you can actually do this part here and drag the document here and then give a description, the task description, and name it. And you just have to highlight it. What are the things that you allow them to do? Normally, I'll select everything that can be done, because this is only a summative, it's not a summative one. So you can allow them to do what they want in there and then just save it. Okay, that's about it. And then here is where you see the outcome. If you click on that, okay, this is the document. So somebody have actually boxed, somebody have highlighted. So and the document goes on. Okay, what are the part that they want to talk about? Then if they were to click on that, the questions will appear in here. What are the questions that the students can actually ask? You can ask. So it's up to you all whether how creatively that you want to use it. I was thinking of good for postgraduate students. If they want to have asked something to you as your supervisor or whatever. Okay. So that's about it. like I said, I have not explored everything, but I discovered this interactive content, which I find that is very useful, and it has got plenty of apps within that, and you can actually try engaging them, and you can learn. And maybe the next time I can invite you to actually demonstrate to everyone how you actually can do this. Okay. So any question? Any question? I hope the session was useful, and I think whether it was something new that you all have learned, and maybe you all can use it for your own instruction, being an instructor in our curriculum. So if you don't have any other questions, I can stop here. Okay. Any other question? If you don't have any question, I think we can stop here.
Dr. Ashley.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Welcome.
Thank you, Dr. Ashley.
Okay. Welcome.